Hello and welcome back. Susan Zumo here, intuitive and originator of soul patterning harmonics. Well, it's been an exciting week, hasn't it? Lots of things happening, lots of things changing. Or have they? We did a meditation during the cafe, which I have posted on the channel, and we embodied peace. And then we shared our peace with the world. And I think that if you look back at the events of this week from our meditation on Monday evening, peace really did permeate the world and things have been relatively calm. And I'm really happy about that. After this big election in the United States and everybody got it all in and all that, what I found very interesting were people's reactions to the election. And I have to say that throughout the years that I've been alive, I voted in a lot of elections. I haven't always agreed with the results, and I may have been disappointed in the results, but I was never disappointed in people's reactions to them. Except this time. This time I found myself being disappointed in the reactions that I saw in some others. And when I sat and looked at that within myself, I realized that it was because I was going back to a time when we were surrounded by fear. Everywhere you turn, there were fear, right? 5 years ago, everything was about fear. Everyone was in fear, and it was a repressive way for me to live, to be surrounded by that and to have to deal with those frequencies all the time. And some of the reactions that I saw in people and their extreme fear took me back to that time. Psychologists would say I was triggered. I would say that I was thrown into a memory and a feeling of the past that I needed to release. So when I connected with my own higher, I was reminded that we are not going to go back. We are not going to repeat the past because we have released repeating cycles. Now, when I say we, I mean those of us who are embodying light, compassion, love, and releasing our fears. Those who are in fear and holding on to fear, for whatever reason, they may repeat those cycles for themselves. But we, in the majority, do not have to. We who are working in the light and increasing our frequency to move closer to 5D, we are not repeating patterns, and we will not be repeating those experiences. We are different. The world is different, and the majority of people living in the world are different than they were 5 years ago. I was reminded by my higher of how effective the controllers use their mechanisms to instill fear in others, and how being cut off from their own intuition by their fear allows them to be controlled. And so I was able to remove into, is that a word, remove into? I don't know. I was able to move back into my feelings of compassion and understanding and release my disappointment. Fear cuts you off from your higher source. And when you are cut off from your higher source and floating untethered, it's very easy to be pushed or pulled in a certain direction and to be less than rational. So that's why we keep saying eliminate fear. You cannot be intuitive and be afraid. If you want to know, if you want to see, if you want to be aware, you must be willing to see and know and be aware. And your intuition will give you that. And so my intuition said to me this morning, what has changed in the world this week? Have our lives fundamentally changed? No. I still go to work. I still do my spiritual work. I still teach my classes. I still hold my meetings. I still do these videos. What has changed for me? only my perception and my frequency. So if your reaction to the events that have taken place this week have lowered your frequency, come back to neutral with me. Come back into balance. We are human beings and we are emotional beings, and it is okay to have those emotions. And then we balance them and come back into neutral. Once I was able to do that, my inner peace returned, my balance returned, and I felt good about life. And once that happened, my galactic brother Aharon jumped right in this morning. And he said, there are great celebrations taking place right now. This is a time of celebration because there is an opportunity for everyone to shift even more, to open even more, and for greater contact with those in the unseen world to reach towards us, make connections, work together to increase the frequency of love on this planet, to bring in more light, and to call upon all of the beings in the galaxy of a positive frequency to lift us into a higher consciousness. They see this as an opportunity for great positive change, and they want us to see it that way as well. My brother said to me, your task has not changed. You knew when you came here what your task was, and it has not changed from last week to this week to today. There is still work to do. There is still change to take place. There is still growth to happen. And there is still joy and love and excitement to come into you and the world. This is a time of great opportunity. We are still moving from fear to love. We still have more love to experience. We still have more fear to release. We still have changes that will take place as a result of our shifts in frequency. And they think that's absolutely fantastic. So my task has not changed. My task is to guide others to their higher consciousness by showing them how to do that. My task is to grow myself, to embody more of my greater self, to bring more love and light into my being, and to share that with the world. Your task hasn't changed either this week. Your task is still to share your gifts with the world, to experience greater love, and to release any residual fears that you may have. And so, as a result of this week, I hope that we are all going to celebrate. And whether we are experiencing disappointment, fear, sadness, or exultation, I don't even know if that's a word, but that's what I heard. Whatever you're experiencing this week or right now, it hasn't changed your task. It hasn't changed why we're here, and it has not changed where we're going. Last week, they told me that our course is set. That's not going to change, and that's still true today. So we are heading in the right direction. We are going there together, and we're going to have a glorious outcome. And so I'm going to say it again as I heard it again. Hold the line. Don't allow your frequency to drop. And if, like me, your halo falls down around your ankles, take a deep breath, pick it back up, and get it back in place. Come into balance. Come into neutral. Come into your heart and feel compassion for those who are not like you, who do not believe like you, and who do not experience the world like you. We can have compassion, we can have love, and we can still be who we are and stay on our path. We lead by example, not by beating others to death with our beliefs or our thoughts or our knowledge. We do it through our example, And so let's be a shining example to everyone in the world, to everyone in our lives, and for everyone we love. I hope that helps to put things in perspective a little bit. I hope you're still dancing and singing, because that's what I'm doing. And I hope that you will continue on this path to make a positive difference in the world. I love you all. I appreciate all of you. And I thank every single one of you for watching this message with your heart open as well as your ears. Until next week, I wish you many blessings.